But what I'm really concerned about is the headline up on DrudgeReport.com. We have the story up on Infowars.com as well. Hospital sets patient record as mystery virus spreads. And that's Gannett out of Cincinnati. Hospital sets patient record as virus spreads. Medical officials admitted a record number of children to a local hospital over the weekend. You know it's from the new year and they're getting their vaccines. So it'll always be a mystery illness. Later it'll be confirmed, the vaccines. This happened in California last year, a bunch of other places. To a local hospital over the weekend because of what they believe to be a rare respiratory virus spreading throughout the country. Always happens in August, September, back to school. Although there's been no confirmed cases of the intro virus at Cincinnati Children's Hospital Medical Center, officials admitted 550 patients Friday, said Dr. Derek Wheeler, Associate Chief of Staff at the hospital. The previous record was 515. Some reports out of Missouri and Colorado suggest the virus, with symptoms similar to the common cold, and it continues, brought sicker patients to hospitals. We're just seeing the increased volumes. We haven't seen sicker than usual, he said. Hospitals from other states have placed restrictions on visitations, but Wheeler said there are no plans to do that in Cincinnati. The virus is similar to what doctors treat during cold and flu season. That means nothing really changes if a child comes down with a rare virus, he said. The bottom line is that this virus you wouldn't treat with antibiotics, so other than the high level of interest, there's no reason we would need to know it is this type of virus, he went on. Yeah. The point is there were a lot of deaths throughout the winter from super viruses and bacteria, and they kept very quiet what was going on. And so when you see an article like this, it fits into a cover-up. I'm not saying that's what's happening, but I've seen it before. Here's CNN reporting on the same issue. Virus hitting the U.S. could be tip of iceberg, CDC official says. And remember, all throughout the new year, I talked about the mystery stuff. And I talked to the medical doctors. They're watching my family die. 3 of them. Throughout the winter. A respiratory virus is sending hundreds of children to hospitals throughout the Midwest and beyond. Health officials say the unusually high number of hospitalizations reported could be just the tip of an iceberg in terms of cases, said the virologist and the director of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention Division of Viral Diseases. 12 states have contacted the CDC for assistance in investigating clusters of introvirus. Alabama, Colorado, Michigan, Georgia, Ohio, Illinois, Iowa, Missouri, Kansas, Oklahoma, Kentucky, Utah. And the issue here is they will cover up and whitewash real stuff. I know multiple parents who had healthy children who would get a virus this year and go to Dell Medical Center and they'd say, your child now has type 1 genetic diabetes caused by a virus that attacked their pancreas. How do you get pancreatitis from a virus and then it's genetic? And I talked to medical doctors and they just said, that's what we're told to say. No, there are viruses going in and taking out children's pancreas. And then I talked to medical doctors, a lot of times they restart, but they don't let that happen. They put them on insulin, and so now you're a type 1 whether you were or you won't. This is the kind of stuff they're doing at these hospitals, where it's all computerized and actuaried to maximize the profits. And Dell's Medical Center this year in Austin was just overflowing with kids, 2, 3, 4 years old, being told, you now have type 1 diabetes, it's genetic. But saying, no, it's a virus. So a virus triggers something genetic. It's just incredible, folks. There's so much going on. Alex Jones here with a message to fellow freedom lovers. The prognosis for the entire planetary economic system runs from bad to worse. The globalist model is to shut down societies and starve patriots out until they acquiesce to the global takeover. That's why we've assembled the most vital and important preparedness items at InfoWarsShop.com. These are items that I did research on, that I personally use. You've got the Life Straw, so you can turn fetid water into safe water anywhere you go. The K-Tor hand crank generator to charge up key equipment during power outages or out in the field. Strategic Relocation, 3rd edition by Joel Skousen. When Disaster Strikes by Matthew Stein. ThyroSafe, used by Homeland Security to protect yourself during any radiological event. hand-cranked shortwave AM/FM radios. Everything that we've researched and found to be the best is available at InfoWarsShop.com, and your purchase makes our InfoWar possible. We're getting prepared. Are you? InfoWarsShop.com. If you just joined us, in the last hour, I broke down a lot of different issues. I'd like to open the phones up while we're waiting to get James O'Keefe of the Veritas Project, who was able to dress up like ISIS and sneak in to the northern border across Lake Erie with bags marked Ebola and Ryerson, and then to go into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and simulate an attack on it, just to illustrate our borders are wide open. The reason we do this is to show that when we're losing our rights, being surveilled, having checkpoints, living in a police state, the TSA going into our wives' brasiers or into our underwear, groping us, putting us in naked body scanners, it's all a hoax. Our government gave Stinger missiles and M16s. AP, AFP now admits it yesterday. We told you first years ago, to ISIS, to Al-Qaeda. They are turning them loose and hoping they attack us, because then the government can grandstand and take our liberties. It's incredible. I want to get your take on that. I want to get your take, and we're going to have a special report on this in the next hour with Buckley Hammond in Chicago. He's going to be with us live, but also we're going to play the report. New York City approves sensors to pinpoint gunfire. Gunshot microphones proven to capture conversations. They're microphones for the NSA under federal grants on record to listen to street conversations and to give voice prints by ID who you are and where you go. And they've been going in nationwide since 1995. They were in Austin, a town of 500,000 people, in 1998. Now it's like 2 million. And when I exposed it, the federal grant, it was in the front page of the paper the next week about Austin gets a grant for gunshot detectors. When they get caught, they call them gunshot detectors. Here it is. New York City approves sensors to pinpoint gunfire. Gunshot microphones proven to capture conversations. The New York City's comptroller has approved a contract for rooftop sensor technology for the NYPD to help pinpoint and reduce gunfire. And yes, the program can do that too. Comptroller Scott Stringer approved the contract with ShotSpotter Flex Systems on Monday. The technology will pinpoint the exact location of a gunshot, allowing officers to respond quickly. They're super high-distance shotgun mics, basically, that then triangulate. You can do that with any basic microphone. So there's real software that does that. So that's a real thing it's doing. But it doubles to listen to you, just like all these Homeland Security cell towers they've put up on record to steal your cell phone data and hack into your phone without warrants. They don't even want to pay the telecoms to do this anymore. They're setting up their own system. So we're going to be breaking that down as well. Also, in North Carolina, more children homeschool than attend private schools. That's people voting with their feet. Price of milk hits all-time high as the central government's war. You heard them a few years ago say that children can't work on their own farms anymore and can't do chores, or that it's $4,000 fines for dust and hay in barns. Well, all the harassment and the dollar devaluation together has beef, poultry, milk, just everything going to all-time highs. That's in Bloomberg. Sotloff family, he got his head chopped off, says Syria's so-called moderate rebels sold their son out for $25,000. Senate hearing to examine militarization of local police. I love how Homeland Security funded it, did the training, set it all up, and then wants to federalize them to make sure they behave with the tanks. And we're going to get into the UK situation, and am I for Scottish independence? Absolutely. But what are the pitfalls of it? I'll break that down.
Hi, I'm Dr. Edward Group. Today I'd like to talk about the war on women. You've experienced and heard about the benefits of super male vitality. Now, the new formula has arrived. Introducing the new Super Female Vitality. I have specifically designed this formula to help the body naturally regulate itself without the use of artificial hormones. Key ingredients chosen from the highest quality sources. Each of these ingredients works synergistically with the female body in order to maximize overall vitality. You've heard the reviews and the feedback on how the original Super Male Vitality has revitalized relationships. Now, both the man and the woman can have the revitalization in their own bodies with Super Male Vitality and Super Female Vitality. Secure your Super Female Vitality today from our limited stock at InfoWarsLife.com.